So they are of the view that they should be completed by about 4 o'clock this afternoon. Yeah. So WASA is also saying that temporary markers and warning indicators have been placed along the affected portion of that pathway. All right, so there are slippery conditions there, so just be extremely careful. All right, that's again at Queen's Park Savannah South, opposite Chancery Lane, and that's from the folks of the Water and Sewerage Authority. And out there in Santa Flora, a gentleman is saying that the WASA line has been gushing water for quite some time. They're saying that they've made reports to WASA. Yeah, the repair crew did not show up. They said also that some time ago, a crew from the agency repaired a leak at the same part, but not too many days after, the line burst again. And they said it's worse than before. It's gushing terribly. They are saying that they are very concerned also of the wastage of water because we are hearing of areas without a supply. So they are concerned about that. So just to need to let this Santa Flora residents there, Jacob Settlement to be exact, know that the authority has been made aware of the concern and they are investigating as we speak. Let's see again. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, they're also asking us to talk to you about some fraudulent activities, which we will mention shortly. But I want to let Asha know that we have passed on to the folks at the HDC your complaint that for over 25 years now you have been awaiting a response from them. You applied for an apartment, you provided all the necessary information just as they requested. You have not been hearing from them. Your last visit was in September last year, and you were surprised that nobody could have given you an update regarding the status of that situation. Well, the HDC has been made aware and they have taken note of the concern, and we are awaiting a response from them. Again, 622-4911. And Mr. Ali, we have passed on your concern to the folks at NIB, and we are awaiting a response from them. Also, to the lady and her daughter who applied for housing some years ago, we would be working on your concern sometime this week. All right, so we just need to let you know. Also, the terrible drainage issue out there in Pointe-a-Pierre with the property damage and so on, and the wastewater is flowing onto the property of the residents. So imagine when it rains, it's going to be even worse.
Oh my goodness.
So the water right now is backing up in front of the house, causing a health hazard and damage to the property. Now, they are saying that they have been trying to get this matter resolved for a very long time. But there are some complications in that... which I would not go into. Some personal complications there. But we have passed on the message and all the information to the Minister of Works and Infrastructure. We are trying to liaise with your councillor to remind her that we spoke with her before about it. And she was saying that because of an energy company being partly responsible for the area, there was nothing that she could have done. So Minister is aware of it. So I just need to let you know, this week we're going to be working on that, okay? So the Pointe-a-Pierre situation, that is being worked on. And also, I think there has been some improvement from what I gather. There has been some improvement to the Davis Street and St. Augustine Circular, Montegran, out there in Tunapuna, where the household waste from the tenants are being placed on top of the waste bin, a very large bin.
Oh my goodness.
For the tenants. But the reason is... that as we mentioned to you a couple of weeks ago, the landlord placed a lock. So they cannot open the bin to put the garbage on, so they're putting it on top. And that was contributing to rodents and roaches and garbage being blown by the wind and going onto the properties of people. And they were fed up of just going outside and picking up and cleaning up the place all over again. Something has been done because I think it has lessened considerably. The area is not as smelly, not smelly at all right now. I want to say thanks very much to the councillor and the chairman out there, the Tunapuna Piyoko Regional Corporation. But we'll be monitoring it, We're going to keep monitoring it for the next week or so to see if that problem starts again. But for now, it's not smelly. It was reeking, we are told. In fact, I kind of visited that area just to
see for yourself.
Firsthand, yeah. And so thank you so very, very much. To the lady in Piyoko, the senior citizen, I haven't heard from you, so I'm just wondering at all if after the coordinators of the disaster unit came by and they had a look at the tree and so on, and they told you that they did not have the bucket truck. I think they were supposed to talk to the councillor now to organize that. Has anything transpired? We will follow up with councillor to find out if they reported to him what their findings were, and if he can at least ask another regional corporation to assist by loaning one of the bucket trucks to him so that he can assist you. All right, but remember again, it's on your property, and they really don't venture onto private property. Good afternoon to you, caller. You're on. Go ahead, please. Oh, we lost you. Feel free to try again. Do apologize. I don't know whose error it was this time.
Try
and
again.
I have quite a lot of information to give to you, and I'm saving it because I want to take my time and give that one to you. Remember the markings, and people were concerned up in the East about X, and people making joke it's cowboy X and so on, and
To
cowboy.
the front of your
All right,
homes.
yeah. I'll give you the answer to that, and you will say, "Oh gosh," and we were so worried. So we'll give you that. We got in touch with the folks who
Well,
are
just the
responsible.
fact that you're smiling, it seems to
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not that
yeah.
deep,
It's
yes.
not, yeah. So we'll tell you all about that.
And we have some
Yeah,
callers.
good afternoon to you, caller. You're on.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Welcome. Go ahead.
I called you with regard to a matter with credit checks. I don't know if you got through with anything.
Credit checks. Okay, so we passed on the information. We need to follow up with them to find out the status. Anyone contacted you? Have you made contact with them since?
No.
No. All right. So we're taking a note here to follow up on the credit checks issue for you, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. There's another?
Not right now.
Not right. Okay, so let's move on.
Yes.
I just need to respond to, now, folks, some of you like to call on air. Tell us your problems and we get it rectified for you. And then you don't tell me that it has been resolved, almost sometimes immediately, and you have me calling up, hello, I'm just following up on this issue. And it was, but Sharon, we resolved that already.
That's right.
And one, we have to say a special thanks to the folks at Island Finance. I won't call the name of the lady who was paying her bills, as we mentioned to you a couple of days ago, to Island Finance. You know, she had a balance of about $16,000. So she was aware of that. She was a little late in that monthly payment of the $600. She eventually paid it before the end of the month, though. And then when she went in and she requested, okay, what's the balance now? The poor lady was told $28,600 plus. And
Oh
she
my
was
goodness.
like, but it was $16,000 just last month. So she was really incensed and called us about it. And we spoke to a senior official of one of the branches in central Trinidad about the situation. Lo and behold, I'm finding out this morning that they settled the matter. So I want to say thanks very much to the folks at Island Finance. All she has to do now is to pay off the $16,000. I would really like to find out from them why they came up with the $28,600. But I'm just really glad that you listened to our plea on behalf of this lady. I'll just call her first name Sita, and we want to say thanks very, very much to the folks at Island Finance. Good afternoon to you, caller. Are you there? All right, 6224911, and a quick reminder here from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. This reminder is pretty frequent, where they're talking to you about larceny by trick involving fraudulent sales of things through Facebook Marketplace. And in this instance, someone been fleeced after paying for a PlayStation 5. All right, where they discovered that after they handed over the money and they opened the box, there was no gaming console there. There were 3 large stones. Right, I know the
Wow.
police is looking for this person. They said it's a male of African descent, slim built, dark brown in complexion, approximately 5 feet 9 inches tall, last seen wearing dark clothing, which he may have changed by now. So you're reminded to exercise caution when conducting transactions through the online marketplaces. And let's pause. Good afternoon to you, caller. All right, let's try that again.
Come call us.
All right. Yes, you're on. Go ahead, please. Welcome. Please take the volume right off and listen to us on your handset. Right. Good afternoon. Let's hear you now.
Yeah, could I speak to you office?
You want to speak to me off here, but give me an idea of what it is, please.
This is concerning the agency. The last time I explained something, remember the station is breakdown.
HDC, you applied or something some time ago?
Yeah, since the 2007.
2000.
And you're talking to me, and the station is breakdown last time you're talking to kind of something.
You spoke to me about it?
Yeah, I spoke to you about that.
All right, okay, we're just asking.
What's going on is that you told me that, to be honest with you, you told me that agency will get in contact with me, and I wanted to discuss that.
So no one from the HDC contacted you just yet?
Nobody in contact.
All right, okay, well, if you spoke with us and you gave... Okay, just give me a chance. Let me just interject gently, please. if you'll allow me. The HDC has been made aware. So once you give me all the information, I passed it on. I would have passed it on to the HDC. They need to do their investigation first. They just can't say, okay, well, so and so is the result of this. So when I give it to them, they have thousands and thousands of applicants, okay, from since 2000 to wherever, or even way back to 1997 and stuff. So they have to do their investigations, get your information, your all the data, and then they would know what the response is to give to you. But we'll just give them a quick response. And what's your first name? Only the first name?
Only.
What's the first name?
John.
Okay, John, the first name. All right, I'll check that and see, okay?
All right.
Okay.
All right, so 6224911. Hey, folks, we're just here to help you, you know.
That's right.
Don't accuse me. I don't work for the state agencies. I'm a reporter who's trying to assist. Good afternoon to you. Are you there?
Hello.
Yes, welcome. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Miss Sharon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling to find out about if you could help me with the AGC.
What's that? What's the concern? Go ahead.
Okay, I applied for it since 2007.
Mm-hmm.
I've been going there regular, and up to last week I went, and they told me they have not sent me to go on the website because I was on the street before. And now I was staying by somebody, and they told me that if I don't get a place 5 months, then they'll put me out.
Right, okay. So the agency directed you to go online to see what the status is?
Yes, I went out there already, and nothing have coming up.
Okay, so what I'd like you to do is to call me off air. What area are you calling from?
Laventille.
Laventille. All right, so Laventille. All right, so you can call off air at 622-4141.
Yes, ma'am.
And just leave your name and number with the receptionist, please.
Okay, thank you.
622-4141. That's our trunk line here, TTT. Right. All right. So let me continue. So the police are reminding you.
Cool.
All right. Let's take this. Welcome. Good afternoon.
Hi, good day, Miss Sharon.
Welcome. Good
My
afternoon.
name is Julie. I'm calling from Brazil Village.
Brazil Village.
I need some assistance with water. 2 weeks now, we ain't getting water. But the water opening the water in the main road, but for the side road, we're not getting. And I'm living in Brazil Trace.
Basilon Trace?
Brazil Trace.
Brazil Trace.
Could you spell
Yes.
that for me, please?
Brazil, Brazil, Lome, Lome, Trace. Trace.
Brazil Loam Trace. Two separate
Brazil
words.
Loam
Okay.
Trace,
And that
yes.
is in Brazil Village, right?
Yes.
All right. So you're saying the main road has
Water, and the side streets not getting
side
any water.
streets none. Okay. All right. And have you spoken to Wasser about it?
Yes,
And what have they been saying to you? Your last call to us. Okay, your last call to us was when, and what was the response?
Well, my sister-in-law called on Saturday, and my neighbor now telling me they called this morning, and
what did
all
they say?
keep
What did
saying,
Wassa
yes, we will
say?
get water.
All right. So what I want you to do is to call off air at 622-4141
Mm-hmm.
and just leave your name and number, and we'll take some more details from you and have Wassa contact you. Okay?
Okay.
So you're calling
Thank
off
you.
air at 622-4141. You're most welcome.
Okay then, sir.
All right, so the police is asking you to exercise caution when conducting transactions. What you can do is meet in a safe place. And to me, the safest place will be a police station, on the compound of a police station, or, well, a large mall, a mall with a lot of people. But I think the police
Correct.
station is the ideal place. And they also tell you, inspect the item first.
Yes, open the box.
Then hand over the money. So please do that. All right, let me just respond also quickly to Mrs. Babulal. She said her spouse applied for his senior citizens grant in 2021. Caller claims that they've been visiting often to get an update, but that has proven futile, and that would be NIB Port of Spain. They said they visited a week before Carnival this year and still been given promises of a call to update them, but they have not received that promised call. We will talk with the folks at, we have already spoken actually to the folks at NIB. They have taken note of it, and they have assured us that they will contact you. And to Stephanie, your maternity benefit issue has been resolved. We want to say thanks very much to the folks at NIB for resolving that maternity benefit issue for Stephanie. Right, so let me just get into this one, which I want to respond to you about. Right. So you all have been seeing in the eastern part of Trinidad, people were very concerned about X's or the letter X or O or circles. Let's call it circles in front of your home. Now, I too would have been, if I was living in the east, but I'm not, would have been concerned. People saying all different types of things. Some were joking about it. Some were terrified.
Some
and
people
so
actually
on, right?
said it was for home invasion.
Right, yeah.
The
So
rumors, yeah.
I didn't want to go there, so I didn't want to repeat that. So, okay, so let's just get it. We spoke with the people who were responsible for putting those marks, and it's the Trinidad and Tobago Hash House Harriers. Now, it's a group which has international affiliation with their other Hash House Harrier groups in other countries. I want to thank them very, very much for taking our call this morning and explaining this thing. Now, they are saying that they understand that some residents who were concerned after seeing the flower markings, it's made out of flour, all right, with an X and a circle. Those symbols were near homes and along the roadway. Now, this Trinidad and Tobago Hash House Harriers, they are a running group, a trail running group.
Oh.
They promote fitness and outdoor activities and so on. And the good part of it for me, which is why I call them really, is that they also do stuff for charity. And once you do things for charity, I am very much pleased about
In
that.
support,
So
yes.
I support that. So they promote fitness and outdoor activities, and they do a lot of things at nights and so on. And I wouldn't go into where they go and so on for security reasons. Just let the members know, all right? But anyway, they are saying that it actually is an international social running and walking activity which has existed worldwide for decades, and Trinidad and Tobago, as I mentioned, is included. Now, the symbols are not gang signs, folks. They are not criminal markings or any form of obia, as you say in Trinidad. They are temporary directional markers to guide the
Okay.
participants along a trail. So, and what they use is biodegradable flour, so it disappears naturally over time. They're also saying to us that and I think I wrote down, I jotted down, they were talking so fast. Right. They're also telling us that, so they use biodegradable flour. The group is also very, from what I gather from our conversation, they're very environmentally conscious. So they know about respecting the environment and so on, which is why they use things which are biodegradable. All right. So, and if they are using it in certain other areas, where I'm not going to mention, they at nighttime in particular places, they would use biodegradable paper.
Okay.
I wouldn't say where they use it because, again, these people have to move and do what they have to do, and I do not want to expose them or have them as targets. So just know that these are just symbols. And the symbols have meanings for the members of the group who know what the meaning of each symbol is. The X, what it means to do, and the circle, what it means to. And I don't want to educate you on it. I would love to share it on air, but I wouldn't because, again, I don't want other people to read into it and figure out what to do. All right.
Gotcha.
So anyway, I want to say thanks very much to the Trinidad and Tobago Hash House Harriers for letting us know that there is nothing to worry about, and we have passed on the information to people. Remember, again, they promote fitness and outdoor activities, and they do a lot of work for charity, and so that should really kind of bring you at some ease now to know that it's nothing criminal in nature.
Because a lot of people was worried.
And we're looking at the time here, and water will be back in a short while from now to residents of Los Ciro, Erin Proper, SS Erin Road, Buenos Aires Road, from Erin Junction to Light Pole 68. Water will be back in a short while. That's around 1 o'clock today for those areas. There is a TNTEC outage affecting the Carapal water treatment plant, so they're putting things in place there. And emergency mechanical repairs are affecting the Shodo Road water treatment plant that's in Maraval. So the people residing in Clovis Trace, Nicholas Street, Upper Moraldo, Monren and so on, and other surrounding areas, WASA says water will be restored at 4 o'clock this afternoon. And emergency pipeline repairs are underway at the Southern Main Road, Claxton Bay, opposite the cemetery. And because of those works, St. Margaret's Old Road, Forest Park Road, Mount Pleasant, South and West Road, Macaulay Road, Caratal Road, and along the Southern Main Road and so on, Claxton Bay and all side street, water will be restored to those areas today at 6 o'clock. And this one is also to let you know that pipeline interconnection works are taking place on the Southern Main Road in La Brea. That's near to the La Brea Junction. So they're advising motorists and members of the public to be aware of the pipeline interconnection works. So you're advised to expect heavier than usual traffic. And that today, and that continues up until midnight. So those of you heading south after work today, and maybe you're going to Cedros or Point Fortin, and that's where you reside, take note that in the vicinity of the Southern Main Road by Labray Junction, pipeline interconnection works are taking place. And that's from the folks of the Water and Storage Authority. There are quite a lot more information. Remember, I was talking to you about when I was referencing the New York City mayor.
Yes.
And when we spoke about schools and cars speeding.
That's right.
Right. And I was telling you, well, he has lowered the speed limit to 15 miles per hour around all eligible schools in the boroughs of New York.
I think we
and
should
the thing
take that.
And the thing about it is, which I thought, well, okay, only during periods of school. It's year round. So whether they're school or not, he doesn't want you, he's saying, to get into the habit of speeding.
Yes.
And then when school comes on, you forget and you speed. So totally, once you're passing in an area of a school in New York City, 15 miles per hour, that's your max there.
I wish we
Yeah.
could put some speed bumps too
Yeah.
around every school. It doesn't matter because it is ridiculous.
So on that note, I want to wish you a good afternoon, and I'll be back tomorrow. We'll do another Connect with Sharon tomorrow, folks. So those of you who need to call in, feel free to do so. Goodbye.
It was a pleasure.
Recently, the government